Imagine a workplace where every action you take ensures not just your safety, but also that of your fellow workers. At the Moya Group, safety isn't just a policy. It's a shared responsibility that protects everyone on the job site. In this short video, we will go over those employee safety policies.
At the Moya Group, we are committed to safety first. We have developed the following policies to help protect you, your coworkers, and our subcontractors from injuries and accidents while on the job sites. Your cooperation is vital, because you are also in charge of safety while you are at work on the front line of the job sites. It is your duty to observe the following safety policies and ensure others do as well.
Use all required personal protective equipment, such as sturdy work boots, safety-toed footwear is preferred but not required, or work shoes, hard hats, Class 2 safety vests, eye protection, as well as ear protection, gloves, life jackets, fall protection, and respirators as required. If you do not have the safety equipment required for the job you are performing, stop work immediately and contact your supervisor. Remember, our PPE policy applies to all Moya Group employees, subcontractors, inspectors, and vendors who are on the job site. So at a minimum, we should see everyone wearing a hard hat, vest, and work boots at all times on the job site.
All Moya Group field employees must wear shirts with sleeves and long work pants when working on all areas of the job site. Sleeveless or tank top shirts, short pants, sweatpants, spandex, sneakers, sandals, or open-toed shoes are not permitted at any time on the job site. ANSI-approved hard hats and Class 2 retro-reflective safety apparel must be worn by all personnel, inspectors, and subcontractors on the job site.
Proper fall protection must be used when performing work more than 6 feet above the next level. Contact your supervisor to establish a safe fall protection procedure for the work. A body harness with dual-leg lanyard is required for 100% tie-off and shall have a maximum length to provide for a fall of no greater than 6 feet. All anchor points must meet the 5,000-pound rule, and your body harness, lanyard, and lifelines must be inspected by a qualified person prior to each use.
Prior to performing any excavation, contact your supervisor and ensure that all utilities have been located by the utility companies per Sunshine One Call 811. All trenching and excavation shall be performed in accordance with OSHA 29 CFR 1926 for construction, Subpart P. Proper training for all employees is a requirement. During trench excavation, if the soil or trench conditions become unstable, stop work immediately and contact your supervisor.
All Moya employees and subcontractors working over or near water where the danger of drowning exists shall be provided with a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket or buoyant work vests in accordance with OSHA. In addition, ring buoys with at least 90 feet of line shall be provided and readily available for emergency rescue operations. Lastly, at least one life-saving skiff shall be immediately available at the locations where employees are working over or adjacent to water. As a general rule, Moya Group requires any employee working within 5 feet of the water's edge to wear a life jacket.
All heavy equipment and cranes which travel on roads open to vehicular traffic must be equipped with a yellow strobe light and a reflective orange safety triangle. All personnel working at night near traffic, to include asphalt laydown crews, roadway workers, and all subcontractors, such as milling and striping crews, must wear Class 3 retro-reflective apparel and be in good condition. All flagmen working at night must be equipped with a Class 3 reflective safety vest, hard hat, and lighted flagging area and must be trained in the correct traffic control procedures. Advise your supervisors if you are not trained in this regard, and we will make sure you get the proper training.
One thing that is super important to do is report all on-the-job injuries and accidents to your supervisor immediately, no matter how small. It is important to let them know as soon as it occurs. No alcohol or drugs shall be used on the job at any time. No personnel shall report to work under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Any personnel that do report to work under the influence of drugs or alcohol will be disciplined up to and including termination. If you need help with addiction, we have an employee assistance program available for our team members. Seat belts must be worn at all times while operating all company vehicles and heavy equipment. This includes all passengers as well. Personal cellular phone use by employees while on the job is prohibited at all times. This is a major distraction and should only be used during your break or lunchtime.
During the operation of all trucks, equipment, cranes, and during the performance of your work, cell phones must not be used as they create a serious safety hazard and are a major distraction. If a cell phone must be used, stop and secure the crane or equipment, or simply stop the operation at hand. You can also pull over the vehicle or equipment to a safe location and stop prior to using the cell phone. You are responsible for the housekeeping in your work area. The easiest way to do this is to stay on top of it during the course of the work. Try to keep it as clean and neat as possible. Do not remove or bypass any guards or safety devices on any machinery at any time. This could lead to a very dangerous situation if done. In case of emergency, contact 911 immediately. Be specific when describing the location of the accident, then alert your supervisor. Keep yourself and the affected employee or employees safe, and assist in the entrance of emergency vehicles if possible. Always advise your supervisor if you need additional equipment or instruction to perform a task safely. Advise your supervisor immediately of any hazardous area or condition. Advise your supervisor if the equipment and/or materials are either unsafe or unsuitable for the work activity to be performed. Lift with your legs and not your back, and get assistance with loads over 50 pounds. It's not worth hurting your back to show how strong you are. Stand clear of all vehicles, cranes, and equipment operating zones. And never turn your back to equipment being operated or serviced. Make sure you know where the equipment is at all times.
Always exercise care when climbing onto or off of vehicles, cranes, and heavy equipment. Maintain at least 3 secure points of contact, either 1 hand and 2 feet or 2 hands and 1 foot. Be sure to check for slippery conditions like oil, grease, or water prior to climbing onto or off of heavy equipment. Clean access steps if needed to ensure safe entry. Special care must always be exercised while working within the operating zone of cranes, hoists, or lifting equipment. The qualified crane signal person, qualified rigger, and crane operator must take special care to ensure that all personnel are in a safe location prior to lifting and/or swinging any load. The crane operator is the final authority and responsible person for the safe operation of the crane. No employee shall be permitted underneath loads handled by lifting or digging equipment. Be sure to exercise care when loading or unloading materials and equipment, and always request assistance if you feel you need help in performing the task safely. Prior to entering the operator's cab of heavy equipment and cranes, you must ensure that A. You make contact with the operator prior to and during your presence within the work area. B. The operator idles and stops the machine's movement and acknowledges your intentions prior to your entering the work area as necessary to maintain safety. Always be observant and aware of the dangers to your fellow workers and yourself while performing your duties, and advise your fellow workers and supervisors of any unsafe condition immediately. Prior to operating and/or moving any vehicle, crane, or equipment, perform a pre-use inspection of the vehicle, crane, or equipment to ensure that it is suitable for its intended use and that all safety equipment is in good working condition. Ensure that all materials are strapped down properly and that all parts of the vehicle, crane, or equipment are in their secured and locked down positions prior to operating and/or moving. This includes, but is not limited to, dump truck beds, crane boom swing locks, outriggers, MOT truck access doors, etc.
All Moya Group trucks and vehicles must be operated only by personnel with the appropriate training and/or licenses to do so. Only Moya Group employees authorized to drive company vehicles may do so. Operate the trucks and vehicles with due consideration for any changes in road and weather conditions. Obey all laws governing the operation of trucks and vehicles on public roads. Note that illegal U-turns are never authorized on any Moya Group project by any personnel. Keep in mind that Moya Group-owned vehicles and equipment have GPS tracking devices that continuously monitor and log the location and speed, as well as other engine and operational parameters. Failure to operate trucks and vehicles in a lawful and safe manner will be cause for revocation of driving privileges or immediate termination, depending on the circumstances. All equipment operators should be evaluated by a qualified person to determine the operator's skill level prior to operating Moya Group equipment. If you have not been trained to operate a piece of equipment, do not operate it. Simply contact your supervisor immediately for training or the provision of trained personnel to operate the required equipment. OSHA requires that all crane operators be licensed by NCCCCO and evaluated by a company representative, typically a tenured crane operator. This is required to determine their actual competency for operating the different type of cranes that we own.
We are in the home stretch and have just a few more things to discuss. Due consideration must be given to using the appropriate equipment, trained personnel, safety equipment, and adequate supervision to ensure not only your safety, but also the safety of your fellow workers and the public. Prior to using or contacting hazardous materials, follow the instructions on the label and the corresponding safety data sheet, also known as SDS sheets. The company has furnished certain employees with desktop or laptop computers to facilitate your work. The computers, company network, and internet access that have been provided is to be used solely for business purposes. Do not use the company computers, company network, or internet access for private matters.
As an employee of the Moya Group, please make sure that you signed the form and ensure that you have read these rules, understand them, and will obey them for your own benefit, as well as for those around you. You should further understand and agree that refusal to abide by these safety policies could result in your immediate termination of employment. Thanks for spending time with us and letting us explain the Moya Group's employee safety policies. Remember, with PPE, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Be safe out there.